Hi everyone, it's Amelia, and today we're going to be talking about making changes to your subscription. So, when you created your subscription, you might have had really big goals and made promises that you're really failing to keep. And you need to make changes for your subscription in order for you to sustain it and to grow it. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So, there's two main ways to change your subscription. You may want to increase your price, or you might want to remove the benefits that you've promised. And we're going to break down how to do both of them and when you should do both of them. So the first one is, when should you increase your price? And this is very dependent on the person and on the model. Every instance is going to be a little bit different, and there's no one way or one reason or one time that you should increase or decrease your price. But there's two ways that you can do this. And one of them is archiving your tiers and upping your prices as well. So what does that mean? How to increase your price? Let your readers first know about a price change. You don't want to completely throw a crazy high tier at them and say, okay, you have to join this tier or else. Some of them might subscribe, but it's really important to be honest and open with your readers about why you are increasing your prices. And don't forget that these are your biggest fans. So your biggest fans are going to understand, hey, it does take time to write a story. It does take time and money to send me these physical goods every single month. They understand that times change and items become more expensive to buy, businesses become more expensive to run, and it's important for you to get paid fairly based on what you're providing them. Even if it's in a serial fiction format and early access and it's just digital and online, it still takes you time to write that book, to write those chapters, to write that story that's perfect for them. And you deserve to be paid for it fairly. And so the biggest thing you could do is just let your readers know that there's going to be a price change soon, if it affects them or not, as well as your reasons for doing it. One big thing to note is you cannot increase their pledge without them knowing. It's not like Netflix says, hey, I'm going to increase prices to $20 from $10. That's not how it works. They have to go in and manually change their prices themselves, or you can archive a tier and grandfather them in. So for example, you might be offering something at $5 per month, but you want to increase it to $10 per month. So there's two things you could do. One is archive that tier. So archive the $5 tier so nobody new can join it. But everyone who was in that tier previously can stay at that tier and still receive that $10 content that you're moving up to. The good thing about archiving a tier is once that reader leaves that tier, so say they unsubscribe for a month and then resubscribe, they cannot resubscribe at the $5 tier. They have to subscribe at the $10 tier. And so that kind of incentivizes them to stay in that $5 tier and not leave, not unsubscribe. The second thing you could do is delete the tier completely. And when you delete the tier completely, those people, those readers in that $5 tier, do not have access to that content anymore until they increase their pledge to you to $10 tiers and they resubscribe at that $10 tier. So those are two ways to increase your prices. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about removing benefits. And again, we'll circle back to, you've made all these promises to your readers, and now you're swamped and drowning in a bunch of work that you didn't realize that this was going to be. And now you just don't want to do it anymore. You might not have time to do it, or you just might not physically want to do it. So I just want to let you guys know it's completely okay to remove your benefits. Completely fine. Don't worry about it. However, there's some things that you do have to think about before removing benefits. Some people may leave if you change your benefits because they signed up for certain rewards and now they're not receiving them. Some people definitely will leave, but some people will stay as long as you're treating them fairly and giving them benefits that you can provide consistently. When thinking about benefits, you definitely want to think about how consistent I can be with the specific benefit, but also, does this fulfill me? Does this make me happy? Is this something I'm going to want to do every single month or every single week or every single year? And if it's not, then it's not. And that's not something you can keep giving over and over again, because we want this to be a sustainable model. You want to build a subscription that's very sustainable for you and for your readers. And if it becomes something that you hate over time, that's something you're going to have to definitely revisit and make sure, hey, am I in a good headspace in order to provide this content on a consistent basis? And if you're not, or if you started and you were super excited about it, and then over time it wears you down, and you're just like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore, it's fine to phase those benefits out. But again, just remember that some people may leave, some people will leave, and it's not anything against you. It's just not what they've signed up for, and it's not what they want anymore. And that's completely fine. Times change for everyone, readers and authors alike. But when you remove your benefits, you always want to pivot. You always want to be thinking like, hey, how is this going to benefit me and my readers? If I remove sending them a physical copy of my book every single month, how will that benefit me? I'm going to get more time to write more books. I'm going to have more time to write better books. I'm going to be able to do this other side project that I've wanted to do for the longest time. And that side project is going to make me really happy and possibly make me more money than selling books on a subscription ever would. So always pivot, always think about, how is this going to benefit me and my business? And I'm going to show you exactly how you can make changes to your tiers as well as your benefits. I am on Ream's page. We're on the public page, so public facing page where people can join your subscription. As you can see, you can make changes to pretty much anything except your pricing. And this is, again, we talked about this in part 1. This is not something you should do, and this is not something that you can do. You do not want to make your readers mad and change $5 tier to a $150 tier. That would make them very angry, and you want to have that trust with your readers. So if I, for example, wanted to delete a benefit in my tier, all you have to do is highlight it and delete it. I'm not going to do it here because these are my live tiers. But if you also wanted to limit members in specific tiers, you click this little checkbox button and a little member limit bar will pop up. You just insert as many members as you want or as little members as you want. If we also scroll down, I can archive this tier. So again, archiving means that nobody new can join it, but everyone already in that tier can stay there. I can also delete my tier. It will pop up with a little, do you actually want to delete this? Just to make sure you don't accidentally delete your tiers that you work super hard on. But if I did delete my tier, or if I did archive my tier, you can also add a new tier. So now you can change the cost of it. If I wanted to have the $1,000 tier, I could put $1,000, hope somebody joins, make really awesome benefits so people do join, and then limit those members to maybe, hey, I only want one person in my $1,000 tier. You can add an image, you can add a new tier name, and then press add and it saves it. And we go back to all your tiers and your public facing page. And that's how you do it.